Hello, it is Sarah with Yoga for Classrooms, and I am here with a short video about one of the common things I hear from educators, one of the common questions I get, or common barriers, I would say. And that is about time, something we never ever have enough of in education. So many times I get questions from educators who say, I love the idea of mindful moments in my classroom or in schools, but I just don't have time for it. Where would it fit? Or I get lots of principals who want to bring yoga and mindfulness to their school, but they don't want their teachers to feel like it's another thing. It's something else they have to add to their plate. So let's talk time today. If you've ever felt like there's not enough time in the day, then this short video is for you. So, good news. Yoga for Classrooms is all about brief, mindful moments. You don't need 20 minutes. You don't even need 10 minutes. We truly believe that oftentimes the most impactful mindful moments take about a minute, maybe two. Okay, so we are not talking a long amount of time. We are talking brief yet intentional and effective mindful moments. So, like I said, when educators first began using yoga for classrooms and mindful moments, often they think they have to implement everything at once. Like I have to do all the breathing exercises, all the movement exercises, all the relaxation practices, all the lessons about mindfulness. But that is not true. Lasting change doesn't come from doing everything automatically, right? It comes from the consistency. So that piece is the most important. Change will happen when you do this work consistently. So, doesn't have to be large chunks of time, but what we want is small moments of time often. Okay. So, what we're saying is like a brief pause to do a breathing exercise before you take your spelling test, or one seated activity right after recess to kind of get us settled into our seats and ready to learn. Or maybe one, what we call imagination vacations, which is our kind of guided relaxations, maybe one of those before the bell rings at dismissal, right? So we're not talking a 45-minute chunk of time or a 10-minute chunk of time, but weaving these mindful moments into your day where they're happening consistently. So those small moments won't seem like much because they're not taking a big part of your time. And in fact, I hope you see and what I saw when I did this work in the classroom is that it doesn't seem like much because you're not taking a big chunk of time, but they actually add up to save you time, right? Because you're not having to redirect as much. You're not having to, pause and wait for the class to get quiet as often, because you're doing an intentional mindful moment and then boom, your class is ready to learn. It's that learning readiness piece that we really emphasize. So like I said, we don't expect just large chunks of time, but we also don't expect mindfulness and self-regulation skills to develop overnight. Just like students don't master reading after one lesson, they're not going to master mindfulness after one mindful moment. The skills grow through practice, just like everything else. So again, giving students consistent opportunities to practice, but it doesn't have to be long chunks of time. So, to recap, yoga and mindfulness, mindful moments aren't going to take a lot of time. So if you have the idea of, I love the idea of this, but I don't have time for it, scratch that from your brain and think mindful moments. These are brief, these are short, these are scripted. The Yoga for Classrooms activity cards make it easy. You just grab one, you look at the intentionality, make sure it's what your class needs right then, and then you lead it with the script on the back, right? So, you're just taking that pause for 30 seconds before you transition to math, to do a mindful moment. Or you're, as you come back from PE, doing a quick mindful moment. Just those brief opportunities to reset, refocus, and then over time, these moments become a truly just a part of your classroom culture. Students will begin asking for them. They'll begin leading them, so it makes it even easier for you. And then they begin to notice what's happening in their body before it takes over, which is what mindfulness is all about. That noticing, that paying attention, and developing those skills that they'll use far beyond their time in the classroom, right? So if you're feeling overwhelmed about getting started, remember this: start small. right? We don't need to start big, and you never need it to be a big time consumer, right? It's meant to be brief. So just start, grab one of our blue cards that's one of the breathing exercises. One of the orange is our seated sequences. Those are our seated activities. Those are short and sweet and great way to just practice some of that mindful movement. Just start somewhere, but start small. One brief mindful moment, and then try to repeat it consistently, and then begin to see the impact on student well-being, on student focus, on student learning, on student regulation, all that stuff that makes such a big difference in our classroom. So, we truly believe mindful moments matter, and I think you will too if you start small and just consistently implement them in your work with students. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all you do. If we can do anything to help you and the work you do to support your students, never hesitate to reach out. Start small, stay consistent. You'll see the impact. Thanks so much. We'll see you again soon.